Alright guys, welcome to this advertisement episode for Lasergurkenland. Reachable under AGL, stands for Lasergurkenland.com. Join now and donate your money and your firstborn. Oh my gosh, what was I doing here? What a mess. Oh yeah, I remember in the last, it was such a mess. Oh my goodness, in the last episode, oh my goodness. I was out of my mind and I think I even failed to record audio. Oh my gosh. What was going on there, guys? It was bad. Anyways, so oh my god, my armor is fucked as well. Okay, so advertisement. What do I have to say? Yeah, please come and play on the server. You're allowed here to do a few things you might not be allowed on other servers, so it's really permissive, so to say. If that piques your interest, please come and join. I already paid the server in advance for multiple years, so yeah. Oh wow, how many players do we even have online? Okay, yeah, so all of this is about getting players online. Yeah, sorry that I'm a bit off my, how do you say? I don't know how to say it in English. Let me check if we even have sound before I continue this madness. Getting players online. Yeah, sorry. Okay, that seems to work. I'm a bit. So what does he ask? The server has been crashing and lagging a lot recently. Any issues? It's running on local hardware. I was wondering if it crashes. Oh yeah, I didn't really check the logs, what I should have probably done. At how many players? I was like testing if the data center's hardware is worse than they claim it is, and compared against my local hardware, which I thought performed better. But if it crashes, like I was monitoring the player count, sometimes 4. Oh my gosh, sometimes 7. Okay, interesting. Yeah. The issue is that in the data center I have less control over the server, so I can't do automatic restarts. So that's that. Anyways, server paid already multiple years in advance, so it will keep up and running. Well, unless it crashes and I didn't start it again. Which is always... Right, so let's get right into the video. It's so hot in here. Oh my gosh, why is it so hot in here? 1 second. Yeah, as always, when the stream starts, everything is unorganized. Alright. So, did anyone write anything? Okay, so as I said, yeah, maybe we have to move to Papers Be Good if that's the only way I can guarantee more and better performance and uptime. If it just doesn't work out with vanilla, but the plan is to stay vanilla because there are actually no Anarchy servers that persist over longer times and are pure vanilla. So I am trying to fill that niche with the server. If you're interested in that, please connect. Should I replace my armor? I should probably do that. Oh my gosh, why are the sounds so annoying me? I hate getting messages. Wow, that sentence didn't make any sense. Okay, so let's get started. I still have the wrong title in the stream, so I really want to fix that. So let me quickly... Oh my gosh. Yeah, do this. Okay. So we are going to watch another, probably copyrighted video. But... yeah, let's cut off the full interview. Okay. Yeah, but whatever. If this video gets taken down, I'm fine with it. Stream is messed up anyways. Okay, cool. Cool. I'm not trying to steal any content here, but I'm just interested in this video and I want to watch it now. Please check out the description if you want to see the video, or anyways, if you continue watching right now, please check out the link that I put in the description. Yeah, it's only like 5 players online, so shouldn't be bad. So we are watching a video from 2018 from the channel Microgreens Farmer. It has 50,000 subscribers and 100,000 views. The title is Student Builds $8,000 per month, microgreens business delivering door to door, full interview. Okay, so let's get right into it. If you please check out the original video.
His microgreens business, and he's only selling to one restaurant. So this is all mainly through home delivery. So it's pretty interesting.
Oh, I started already. Let's go from
Look at that beauty.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Microgreens Farmer. Pretty special episode today. I've got one of my students on doing an extended interview, and we're going to dive into how he's doing about $8,000 a month with his microgreens business, and he's only selling to one restaurant. So this is all mainly through home delivery. So it's pretty interesting. You guys are going to get a lot out of this interview. It's really awesome. He's got some really good advice for people getting started. So enjoy. Yeah, so I guess we can just start jumping into it. That's cool.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so why don't you just introduce yourself, give me your full name, tell me where you're located, and just give me some of your backstory, like what led you on this microgreens journey and starting to become an entrepreneur.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's up, everyone? I'm Don DeLillo from Long Island. It's in New York. It's that weird little island next to New York City. The name of my company is Don's Finest Living Foods. And now I have started a second company called Sproutbox Grow Your Own because, you know, I was growing these things. Nate taught me via his YouTube videos, and as you guys know, it's pretty easy. So I want to empower other people to grow some of their own food at home, just like Nate is doing. So I've had an interest and a passion for agriculture for quite some time. It really solidified in college when I was in my sophomore year. I was in a class with this really cool professor, Charlie Hall, and he was talking about this urban farmer from Milwaukee named Will Allen. And he does everything organic. His farm is a complete system, so everything works with each other, and I just loved that. I studied sustainable energy management, and there was no agriculture anything at my school. I went to SUNY ESF, Environmental Science and Forestry. So any chance I could to take a creative way to put an agriculture spin on any of my papers, anything like that, I was doing it. I was trying
Oh my
to
gosh,
Will
oh my
Allen
gosh.
anytime I could.
No, 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 no.
I graduated from college. Well, actually, before I graduated from college, I reached out to not an urban
Fuck
farmer,
my
but an
life.
organic farmer here on Long Island, Stera Farms. And I worked for him for 2 summers just to see if I really did like this farming thing. And I did, even though I was picking tomatoes for like 5 hours a day in the sun, I still loved it. Like, it was so cool watching plants grow from like very small to very big, and it was just awesome. So that really solidified it. Then I graduated from college and I was working in the LED industry. So I would go into businesses and I would switch out their old fluorescent lighting for these new, more energy efficient LED lights. And it was cool, but it's not where my heart was at. I knew I wanted to do something in agriculture, and I knew I wanted to work for myself.
Why did you know you wanted to work for
Fuck,
yourself?
how did it look exactly? Is it like here?
I think some of it is kind of just within you. You just know. Like, I spent a lot of years just outside, hanging out by myself, just trying to come up with.
Can I watch my own stream? Wait, can I like copy video URL? Can I put that here and check out how the machine looks like in my own stream? Yeah, so all of this. Yes, I can.
The name of my company is Don's Finest Living.
Before I fucking blew it up.
So.
Come on, show it to me. Okay, here's the
I
TNT.
studied sustainable energy management.
It is under that thing. Yeah, okay, so we need TNT under here, and then we probably need. Fuck. I suck. Yeah, that won't work. No. Oh man.
With ideas, you know.
Are your parents entrepreneurs as well, or?
They're not. So when I told them I was quitting my job and and going into the microgreens business, they were like, "What are you doing?" Like, they, you know, it was weird. But I think now they see that I'm really happy and I'm starting to get a little bit successful. So I think they're definitely happy I did that.
Yeah, let me just quickly mention, I didn't mention at the beginning, but you sent me some of your statistics for your sales. So this is
Right.
one reason people want to probably keep watching this, is that you're doing about $8,000
Money in the
month
title,
sales,
huh?
right?
Yep.
Okay,
That's-
great. We'll dig into that a little bit more later, but I just wanted to provide that make sure people understand this is really legit and they're going to learn some good stuff in this interview. So yeah, keep going
Absolutely.
with your story though.
All right, cool. So yeah, it's just not where my heart was at. So I was
Oh
always
no,
like
where did I
researching
put mine?
online on YouTube, like, what can I grow that's highly profitable that I can start a business right now? And I had been doing that for years prior. I think like before your videos were up. So then once your video's up, I was probably one of the first ones to see it because I was actively looking for that exact thing. So when yours came up, I was like, oh my gosh, that's it. Like, I'm gonna do that. Like, I can totally do that. You were teaching it really well on YouTube at the time.
Fanboy.
Also, so that helped a ton. And I just dove in.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you went over to the website and you downloaded the quick start guide.
Yes.
Read through
Yep.
it?
So, yep. I got the quick start guide and I got the branding package.
And you bought the labels, okay. And you
Yeah,
and
the
you,
labels.
and you dove into the quick start guide. You read through that thing, and that just you were
Oh,
still
no.
excited to do it after that. And you what did you do? How did you take action? What were the first steps you took when you started to dive into it?
Oh man, it's been 2 years now, so it's a little bit hard to remember back that far. But I started in my parents' basement. I made them section off this little corner so the cats
Okay,
could
my
go.
my frames are a bit dropping, aren't they? Yes, they are. Let me quickly close another game running in the background. Did I successfully do that? Yes. Did my frames improve? No. Awesome.
In there. And I just bought, I think pretty much a similar rack to what you use. Just one of those metal racks. I mounted 4-foot lights on it. I just bought folding tables. I put those up for, workbenches. And then there was a closet right next door, so like adjacent to the room that I was in. So I used that as my germination room. I kept it dark. It's funny thinking back to like all the mistakes I was making back then and like how much like that's like my biggest advice is jump in. You're not gonna like it's not gonna kill you. Like every little thing in your life, it's just a small thing. It's not a big deal. So if you just jump in, you're gonna start learning at rapid rates, and that's just the way to do it.
That's what in my new webinar, that's why I make sure to mention in there, like if you need to know all the information before you're getting started, this is not for you.
Yeah.
It's just that's how all business is, and it's all you have to adapt on the fly, and people can give you help you get ahead quicker and shorten that learning curve, but you're always going to have a learning curve. I mean, you're stretching beyond your abilities when you first get into it. So had you quit your job at this point? Did you have some money saved?
Yeah, I think I just quit my job. I was like, I'm not happy here, and I know I can do this. It just felt so right. Like a lot of times you just like really feel it.
Yeah.
So I was like, I quit my job. I know there's ways to do it where you invest, very small amounts of money. But I was like messing around with different varieties, which was like part of my mistakes in the beginning. Some like really hard varieties like cilantro and gelatinous seeds, like those were really hard. So there were some losses, but basically I had $3,000 saved up. Within 2 or 3 months, I was negative 4,000, which was completely fine, because it's all assets. You're learning, you're getting your assets, you have your equipment. And one thing that helped me a lot with cash flow, or just having money in the beginning, is Chase Bank. Whether you support them or you don't, they have this awesome 1-year no interest business credit card. So you can just buy one of those with say $10,000 of what's the word I'm looking for? Credit, yeah.
Credit limit.
Yeah. It's a credit card, right? Yeah. So $10,000 of credit limit, and you can go buy your stuff and not have to worry about paying that off for a whole year because it's interest free.
Yeah.
Yeah, I somehow thought that the TNT will kill the withers, but yeah. No. Too bad. Maybe I need more TNT. Yeah, this one seems to be hit. Okay, that's cool. Oh, and I am as well. So maybe I need more of these TNT machines dropping down, so that a bigger area becomes dangerous for them and damaging. So what do you say? Right next to it, a little bit like, oh no, like over there. They're moving all the time, so it probably doesn't matter too much where I do it. I just need more. Okay, I have one here. What about I build the next one over here?
I was actually net positive in 9 months, so it worked out perfectly.
So a lot of people spending a good amount of money up front like that, one of their fears is that the market's not going to be good. Did you already have, you must have had some confidence that the market was good, or did you just cross your fingers and hope for the best sort of thing?
So there was a pretty quick transition. What happened with me is when I first started this, I thought I was going to be selling to chefs. That was my first thoughts. Also around the same time, one of my good friends, Jesse, and his father, they're really healthy. Like his dad was vegan for over 25 years, you know, like health nuts. And I was learning about the living foods category in general. So that's sprouts, microgreens, and wheatgrass. And I knew about the nutrient content of the microgreens. So instead of, and the chefs weren't really working out. I think every location is quite different. My location on Long Island, we're very populated. It's a very quick pace. So the chefs, and also there's a huge microgreens company called Coppercrest on the east end of Long Island. And I think they're like international. They're probably like the biggest around. They focus on the small frilly varieties for chefs. And they were distributed already by Baldor Foods, which distributes all the specialty foods to all the restaurants. If they can't get it from Baldor, you know, it was just easy for them to get it from there. So I was having a little bit of friction there. So I was like, all right, and this is like the learning thing, like how do I work around this? So I chose the health niche. It's going specifically for health. You started out at farmers markets, you know, met people and this and that. And then eventually I did like more of a delivery service. So your delivery service system, the bike thing is awesome, but my clients are more spread out. So I just pack up a cooler, put it in my car, and drive it around Long Island. And people leave out coolers once a week. Did that answer your question? I forget what the question was.
So are you selling to any chefs now, or is that 100% of your market is delivery to home consumers?
There was a chef at the farmer's market that I'm doing now who came up to me and really wanted my stuff. So I was like, okay, I'll work with you. So when I'm working with chefs, what I do to like create value also in a way is it's called negging. So when a chef comes up to me and they're interested in my product, I say, look, like I don't work with chefs. I'm specific about health. You guys are using the product wrong. I straight up like insult them. Like it's called a neg. I tell them you're using the product wrong. It shouldn't be used as like a little garnish on a plate. You should be using these microgreens in plentiful quantities in your dishes because it's actually going to be healing people. And when they hear that you won't sell it to them, they need your product and they want it more than anything. So I agreed to work with this one chef down in Bayshore, and they're using my stuff right now. So, but most of my business is direct to consumer. They leave out coolers once a week and I drive them around. I deliver on Tuesdays and Thursdays now. And then right now about 30 or 40% of my business is farmers markets.
How many of those home delivery customers do you have?
About 50.
Okay, and what's the process for getting those customers? I've got a whole section about that kind of my program in the online course, but I'm curious to hear how you go about it.
And that's another thing I'm excited about that course is because I would love to go see what you're doing and implement some of your techniques into what I'm already doing as well. I'm meeting a lot of these people at farmers markets, so I'm carefully selecting my markets for where I want to deliver. So my operation is based in a town called Huntington. So I'm obviously doing that Huntington market. I have a little bit of a following in Huntington, and then also at the market, my main goal is obviously to make some money there. But my number one main goal is to really recruit somebody into the weekly program, because that's when you're going to see your money all year long. It's guaranteed. It's a way better system to have guaranteed sales, obviously, than to not know how much you're going to sell at farmers market. So I'm meeting people there.
I talk about a lot about creating processes for selling, even direct to consumer like that at the farmers market. Do you have
no? That's wrong, isn't it?
That some way you try and open that conversation with a customer that comes to your farmers market stand, as far as introducing them to your subscription service.
Specifically at the stand?
Yeah.
So when they come up to my table, I'm telling them about microgreens, I'm telling them about living foods and their health benefits. And then there's this one box on my table that I don't sell at the market. It's called my sampler box. It's like a little bit of everything. And I say, this is what most of my customers, like my delivery customers like, or like something like that. Or I just mention like, oh yeah, I deliver weekly. Like if you want to sign up for my health program, you can, I'll deliver right to your door. It's free delivery. So I put the delivery pricing, I work that into my pricing, so that way delivery is always free. And it's great, why wouldn't they want that?
That's awesome.
So.
Let me just backtrack a little bit. So, do you remember your first sale?
I remember walking the streets of Huntington Village, just with the samples and walking in and talking to chefs, and I had my fresh sheet that was in your in that beginning package. And it's nerve-wracking and it's stressful. I remember those feelings. Who was my first sale? Oh, jeez, I don't even know. I don't remember my first sale.
You don't remember your first sale? Wow, I remember mine so well.
I should remember my first sale. I really should. But
well, so
yeah,
that was a while ago. My memory's not that great for a lot of things. I do remember my first sale, but I forget a lot of stuff from 2 years ago. So that's all good. Can you talk about a little bit about where you're at now with your business? How much kind of revenue you're doing? Are you doing your profit margins pretty decent? Just a little bit of insight into that.
Okay, so profit margins are high. So remember, in the microgreens business, we are probably, especially if you're going direct to consumer, it's like the most vertically integrated process you could ever have. The only way you could get better at vertically integrating in a microgreens business is actually growing the seeds yourself, which you're obviously not going to do. So we're taking a seed, which is like a very affordable, cheap product, and we're turning that into a finished high value product and then selling that to consumer. So your profit margins are typically going to be very high. I think my profit margins with labor right now are in between 70 and 80%. Wow. So that's fantastic, I can't complain with that.
And you showed me your a whole chart breakdown of your revenue and everything. It was around $8,000 a month. Has that been going on for a while, or are you still scaling up quite a bit right now?
So, I started about 2 years ago. That's when I found your videos. Then I outgrew my parents' basement, that little section that we sectioned off. I outgrew that, and I was a little stressed out. Like, that's a good problem to have, but it's stressful. It's like I want to go get more clients, but I can't grow anymore because I don't have the space. So I found this deli that was around the corner. It was run down for years. I contacted the landlord, and he let me move in and fix it up. So in what used to be a deli where they were selling, cancer-causing deli meats and those sandwiches and all that bad stuff, now it's like a total source of light for the community. I fixed it, I put in a new floor, and I just put up more racks. I started with 3 in there, 3 racks, that's all I had. And that was back in May of last year, of course. Then at this point, I have about 9 or 10 racks being used right now. So it's grown like across the year, and it's been like rather consistent, like a steady pace. I was actually on News 12, which is the local news station. That helped a lot. I got quite a few weekly customers off of that. And now I've outgrown this space, which I didn't think, like I never really thought that far in advance, but it's only 640 square foot. And now I need more space. So I found another place around the corner again. Luckily, my commute is staying around 2 minutes. And this one's going to be close to 2,000 square foot. Right now in my current space, 640 square foot, I can do $100,000 worth of business.
Yep. Which is about where you are right now. Right, exactly.
And I still have another 2 racks that I could be using. I just don't want to push it. In this new space, because there's so much more space, you can lay out things better, etc. I'm going to be able to do probably over $500,000 in revenue every year, which is wild. We're just growing these little plants, and I just created this business 2 years ago off of Nate Dodson's YouTube videos. It's so cool.
That's awesome. And are you hiring people then to help you at this point?
Yeah, so they're not on the books, so don't don't spread that
And
news
they're
to your
contractors, right?
Right. Yeah, she donates her time, and I don't know. Anyways,
Yeah,
but
that's a very good model for the cool thing about agriculture is you can do those sort of work trade exchanges in the beginning because it's something, the thing you're selling is something that every single person needs. So that was really
Right.
helpful for us in the beginning as well. We'd have people come in and help us a couple days a week, and just in exchange for vegetables, like some interns here at the local college. So that works out great. But I imagine you're probably, once you move into this new space, you'll reach the point where you'll probably get some employees going. And
yeah, well, technically she isn't like she's not on the books, but I do pay her. So,
yeah.
as far as actually pretty recently, she's up to 5 days a week. So she works Monday to Thursday, doing predominantly farm chores, everything from soaking to making trays. Well, actually, unsoaking, making trays, and harvesting are the three biggies. Watering too, and then she works a farmer's market for me on Saturday.
Awesome. Does she have like a checklist, or do you use checklists in your business? Because I have a bunch of those in the course. It's a big part of how we keep things streamlined.
No.
I would say checklists are
Nice.
critical. In this business, you want to stay concise. You need a very efficient, concise process, and you don't want to waste minutes or hours thinking like, what do I do next? Like, no, it should be on a checklist. I can get all my morning chores done in an hour.
Yeah.
You know, and then I can take hours off in the middle of the day if I want to, and then go back and harvest later or make some trays later.
Oh, wow, we have players
checklists
online.
are
I didn't
important,
notice.
especially when you're hiring
Oh,
employees
is it-
as well, because training
is it
them,
8
it's
players
a lot
already? Am I
easier when
counting
they have
correct?
a checklist like, all right, this is the task. How do I do this? Now I know what to do.
Okay.
And they can just go boom, boom, boom off the checklist, and they don't have to think either.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm having two TNT machines here, loading a bunch of withers, so I'm definitely a power user right now. We have 2, 4, 6, 8 players actually online on the server. Does someone know the TPS? I don't have a client that shows the TPS, that is too bad for like testing. TPS of 9, okay, that is let me quickly check the CPU usage and RAM usage and stuff like that. So yeah, it seems to use the full 20 gigabytes that I assigned. Is that always the case? If you give the Java process 20 gigabytes, that those are always like taken and fixed? I don't know if you can see it like that. I should have probably checked that after starting the server. I have 8 cores. None of the cores is at, well, sometimes one core peaks at 100% for a short time, but all the other cores are idling at 10-20%. So that looks good. So it's probably just the game itself that is bottlenecking. Okay. Alright. But it's not crashing yet, so that's good. What? There's no screen to be resumed. Attached. Oh, is it attached in... Ah. Wait, it's... I have a screen running in a Tmax session, I think. Yes, I do. Okay. Okay. What do the logs say? Move too quickly. Fetching enter with the rows. It can't keep up, the server's overloaded. 345 ticks behind, or 7,000 milliseconds. Okay. Okay, so it is already well, but I can quickly remove blocks and they disappear. So for me, the user experience is really good. But also keep in mind the player count is actually not very high. I'm paying for 160 slot. Did it blow up a... No, I didn't have anything here. I think it didn't blow up anything. I'm paying for 160 slots, so having 8 players online is actually not too much. But yeah, that seems to be crashing already in the data center. 8 players, that's what I noticed. But yeah, now we are not 8 players anymore. That is sad. But hey, okay, let's keep testing. I guess I have to be more active on the server, since we seem to have actually players online, and I probably didn't even notice it. Let's keep monitoring, guys. Keep monitoring. See what we can squeeze out of vanilla.
Yeah, and get your checklist going right in the very beginning as soon as you can. And as you add more products, as you add more different customer segments, you can layer that stuff slowly on top of your checklist and make it more complex over time.
Absolutely.
But your products are still fairly simple at this point. You're not growing 30 varieties of microgreens. Can you tell us a little bit about what your products are, your main products?
Yeah, so I have veered off a little bit from just the microgreens business.
Does it
So I do things like sprouts. Like
kill
I
my
do
machine
a few
if it hits
sprouts,
it?
and I know there's like a lot of talk about like the dangers of them. And if we want to cover that in this video, I can totally talk about that. I don't think they're really that dangerous anymore.
Yeah, we can save that for another time, but I'm definitely curious about just hearing about the products.
Absolutely. So I started off with a few microgreens varieties. I was doing pea, I was doing sunflower, then a few of those tricky ones which I abandoned. I don't do those anymore, like the cilantro and stuff. So I have 4 microgreens varieties. I have
Should I
sunflower,
build another one?
sweet
Let's see how it
pea,
looks like.
radish, and broccoli. And I think it's nice when you're doing just a few because you get to master those varieties. I would definitely, like before moving on to another variety,
I wonder if there's a client that removes this annoying animation that like twists your whole screen when you get damaged. That's just, it's so annoying. There probably is. I should get into 1.16 or like latest version clients. I should probably look into the worst client at some point. Maybe it has some features I would really need to make this game more pleasing for me. I mean, anyways, some of these options should really get into the vanilla client because this game is just annoying. Yeah, let's see.
master what you're doing currently. It doesn't make sense to take on something else. Yeah, I do those varieties.
I push that hard in my quick start guide and in my webinar. Just that's one of the biggest mistakes I see people make is they start with 10 varieties, and it's just the timing is a big part of it too. Not only are there different techniques and different issues that you're going to run into with different crops, but just
so now they're all over
is
there, or did I
very
kill
challenging
every
to
wither
have
that is here, or do they move away, or what is going
Yeah,
on here?
absolutely. I think when I first started growing, I wasn't really growing to sell. I was trying to like learn how to do it first. And I think it's really fun and exciting. You want to try all these different varieties, and that's awesome. Keep that on the hobby side of growing microgreens, not on the business. And don't mix the two. You want to really get those varieties down before you move into new ones. You're going to just kill yourself in the beginning.
Yeah. And now you're selling these sprouting kits. Was that something you invented, or is this a product that someone else created that you're reselling? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so all right, well, also jumping back for very briefly,
Yeah.
aside from those 4 microgreens varieties, I do sprouted chickpeas and sprouted lentils. So I'm essentially just buying sprouting seeds and I'm soaking them overnight and then selling them to people. So the seeds are becoming activated, all those nutrients are becoming activated.
And that's even faster time to market than microgreens. You're talking probably 4 or 5 days.
Right. Yep. Yep. And then aside from those two, I do a 5-part sprout mix. So that's broccoli, radish, alfalfa, mung bean, and lentil.
Can I do it without these?
And I do those in the easy sprouters. I don't sell those really as sprouts. The sampler box that I sell, it just looks awesome with these little frilly sprouts on the top.
Should I remove water on
it's
the
just
other
like
side
1
of the?
ounce
Yeah, I
sprouts
should.
in these boxes. Nobody can really buy it in bulk. But I was growing these sprouts in the easy sprouters, and that's a 5-day process with no soil, no sunlight. Anybody can do it right on their kitchen counter. So that's when something clicked in my mind, and I was like, this is really easy. I want to empower other people to grow their own food at home because anybody can do this, and it would drastically help not only themselves and their health, but the planet as a whole. Because if everybody substituted one of their meat meals with a sprout meal, I don't think we'll even be talking about global warming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I got passionate about empowering others, and I created Sproutbox. So I have a co-packer who makes these little seed packs for me. It's essentially the Keurig cup for sprouting. So you have a seed pack, that's the exact amount to go into the easy sprouter, which is what the sprouter that I use. And that's, to answer your question from before, that's not my sprouter. I did not invent that. That was invented by a guy named Gene Monson, and that was back in 1981. And the company is Sproutimo. So I kind of upcycled that product into my product.
And what percentage of your business is this new Sproutbox thing?
That's hard to say. I consider that a totally separate business, although they work together. And just to break off on a little tangent, there's this guy named Grant Cardone who is one of the most famous car salesmen, but now he's like a bigwig entrepreneur, big into real estate and everything. And he has this little booklet called the Millionaire Booklet, How to Become a Millionaire. And in there, and I actually got this after I realized I had done what he was recommending in the book, which was really awesome to read this book and be like, oh, sweet, I did it, like I'm on the right path. He says, create your first business, get it going. Then create a second business that's a symbiotic relationship to your first one, build them both up, and with the money that you make from those two, save up for a big investment. So Sproutbox aligns perfectly with this. I consider it separate. I launched it. It was a soft launch in January. I got some great feedback from my customers, and now I'm kind of like revamping it to make it a really good user experience, which is where it needs to be before I really do a hard launch. But what's awesome is that it provides a really amazing thing to put on my farmer's market table.
I'm actually
So
happy
not
with
only
the
do I have
performance,
trays of microgreens in the packs
but
that
I have the
sell,
feeling that this
microgreens that I
performance of
grow,
my laptop is
but I
better
also
than the
have these
data
little seed
center.
packs and easy
Yikes.
sprouters so people can grow their own at home. And it does help out a little bit with sales at the market. It helps out with forming like these relationships with people because you're empowering them and they're coming back every week with seeds and telling you how awesome it was to grow their own food and how they're being successful with it. And I'm sure you of all people know how good that feels when you're empowering somebody else, and you know.
Absolutely. And I encourage people to put on little classes and teach people how to grow microgreens, even if you're selling microgreens, because once they learn how to do it, they start to love it more, they start to use it more, they appreciate it more, and then they just get busy with life, and they'll be looking to still buy it from someone because they're getting used to it. So it's like a lot of people think you might be losing customers by teaching people how to grow it, but I feel it's the opposite, or I found it's the opposite.
I feel it's the opposite as well. I totally agree. If anybody watching this channel follows like Gary Vee, he'll agree with us as well. He says he gives out all his high quality value content for free, and that's why he's making it. That's why he's winning. If you're afraid of teaching somebody how to grow microgreens because you think that they're going to make a business that will outcompete yours, you shouldn't be in that business in the first place. If somebody else can just come in after you and do better in your business, then they deserve that, and you're not working hard enough.
Yeah. So you just became a member of my online course now, my full online course. There's some new resources in there for you to use. There's a couple different recipe flyers. There's a recipe flyer and there's a mini recipe book. Are you doing anything like that right now? Are you sharing recipes with your customers?
That is like one of the number one things that I need right now. I totally didn't even realize that it was in there, but now that you're saying that, I'm pumped. Because this is a new food. People are like, what do I do with this? So I keep it as general as possible at the farmer's market. So I say add it to your salads, add it to your sandwiches, put it in your smoothies. If you're using it in hot food, throw it in at the end so it doesn't break down the nutrients. So like after you take a stir fry off the heat or a soup, I just keep it general. If somebody comes to me and tells me something that they did with the product, I'll usually, say that to other customers, like, oh, this person did this.
And once you get people cooking with them, they realize how easy it is. That's what's so incredible too, is there's just so much less prep work. You don't have to chop up a ton of vegetables. You literally just grab them and throw them on your dish right there at the end, and they add incredible flavor and health to your meals. So it's really cool.
Yeah, that's great.
And people are, a lot of the food we get now is pretty devoid of nutrition. It's stuff that's been sitting in the grocery store for, a couple days. It's sitting on a truck for a couple days before that. It's severely lacking. And microgreens are just incredibly healthy because they're just harvested, or your sprouts, they're still living. Microgreens are pretty much still living when you're just harvesting the day before. So that's really cool too. So you're still scaling up. You're on the path to 500,000. How long do you think it'll take you to get there?
My pipeline is pretty much locked and loaded. Like, the second I move into this place, I'm just gonna go all out and drive business. So I'm ready to scale up. I just don't have enough space. So once I move into this new one, I'm just gonna scale up, max out the room. And luckily, it was a blessing, but he has another 2,400 square foot on the property that I can slowly expand into. And that's just amazing.
That's awesome. Yeah, so you have your model. You know what's working right now, so you know what you need to do to grow it. So
wait, how many players do we have?
1 year,
2, 4,
and you could
6,
5x your
8,
business
9.
up to
What?
500,000.
Do we have like a list
Honestly,
command?
it could be 1
Yes,
year.
9
It
players.
really could.
That's incredible. That's really exciting. Is there anything that you are struggling with right now with your business, besides obviously growing pains?
Growing pains. Yeah, really just the space. Yeah, well, a variety issue. Sunflower. I think that they're just such a pain in the ass. I'm not really having a problem with getting the hulls off or anything. For some reason, they're growing great and popping them all off. But I'm getting a little bit of mold down at the bottom towards the base of the stem. So I'm trying to invent like new processes to kind of fix that problem. And it seems to be working a little bit. I guess I'll go ahead and say what I've been doing. There's a lot of, I think the germination rates are lower on the sunflowers typically than the other seeds. So after they've sprouted, a lot of them will have their stems in the soil after the germination period. A lot of them will just be kind of on top of the soil dead. And the cycle of life thing, a decomposer isn't going to come in and break down something living. That's not how it works. It comes in and breaks something dead. So what I do is I take my trays and I'll like stand up, put them on an angle, and I'll shake them back and forth like this. And all the loose stuff will come out, and then I kind of like pop it out like that. And I'm kind of getting a lot of the loose stuff out like that. Also, you'll see which ones have mold on them, and sometimes they'll stick in there. So I do that shaky thing, and then I literally take out some of the moldy ones. It's a rather inefficient, annoying process, but if the rest of your processes are very efficient, you can afford to do something like this.
Do you do that like right after you're unstacking them?
Yes, that's when I do it.
And they're somewhat dried at that point as well. So those hulls that are sitting on top are probably a little dry, so they shake out a little pretty easily at that point, or not too difficult.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I know it's not the best advertisement, but guys, I'm honest here. It is not the best hardware that is like accessible on this planet that the server's running on. Like, it's not the best hardware that is accessible on my laptop locally that I run for testing, nor I have the best hardware in the data center. But it is good hardware. I run with 20 gigabytes of RAM locally and with 16 in the data center. So I think the data center performs a bit worse, but if you run Minecraft Vanilla and you have an Anarchy environment where there are withers loaded, where there are items floating around all over the place, people are speed hacking and so on, this game just struggles. So this is not a potato server running in my mom's basement on a Raspberry Pi. It is a solid server and a fucking fucked game, so that's what you get. And it is a not for performance optimized server, but it's a official by fucking microcrap provided Minecraft server. So we'll see if we have to switch to Paper Spigot to keep the server playable. I would say a player count of 9 players is a lot for this server, especially because I'm hardcore advertising. I'm like at these server lists every day voting for my own server. I'm like the only person. By the way, if you want to support the server, go to these Minecraft server lists and vote for Lasergurkenland. And if there's any site that is not like, I tried to register this server at all the server lists. Oh my gosh, I can't hit them. At all the server lists that I can find. If there's a site where I didn't do it and you find that, please let me know and I will register the server there. Vote if you want to have more players online, and just search for Minecraft server lists and vote for Lasergurkenland. You can mostly vote daily. I usually do it myself and vote on all these lists and do this and that. I do these streams, and that is not something that I will do forever, right? So I don't think that the server will for the long term. Like I'm planning long term, you know. Oh, show chords please, says the chat. Here are my coordinates, leak. I'm always at the border, so you can always run in circles at these 1000 block radius around spawn. Anyways, so yes, the server is lagging. Yes, this game is not running optimally, but it is not a potato server. It's a strong server, I would say. So keep that in mind. Yeah, it might be bad for advertisement to show that it's lagging, but yeah, it is how it is. I would say if it, well, I assume that the player count for, oh, I didn't even set the game title. Let me quickly optimize my stream. That the player count will stabilize around a maximum of 3 players, and the server runs fine. And if we have a crazy event and we get up to 8 players or even 9 players, it runs fine on my laptop locally. And I will talk to the people that are hosting the server for me in the data center and complain that on my potato laptop it runs better on the data center if it performs worse there, and then we'll see what we can do there. Anyways, so let's go.
So I find if the soil's drier for the sunflowers, it'll get stuck to the tray and it actually won't fall out. So if I was
Oh my
watering
goodness.
first, I think some of like the soil, the whole tray is
Okay, now it's not
really
too playable
dumped out of the
anymore.
tray.
Boy.
So definitely don't water before.
Oh
doing it.
my gosh.
So that's my first step of my
Oh.
preventative measure.
That's the thing, right? The client is not synced very well with the server, is it? I'm like, it looks like my bow is like fully loaded, or how do you say? Like, you know what I mean? And the animation shows that it should reach this far, but I think on the server side it is like not really recognizing that yet, and the server didn't tell the client that the bow is not loaded yet, and that's why I can't shoot it far. I mean, I can shoot it far, but I have to load longer and then guess. That's just sad that this Minecraft is not well optimized for a lagging server. I mean, Minecraft is really nice when it comes to bad internet and lagging client and so on. It does a does a great job at prediction, and you can have like a really bad ping, and you wouldn't be able to play any like online fast pace real-time games with it. Let's say a ping of like 100 or something like that, and you don't even notice it on a Minecraft server, because the prediction is just so permissive and lets the client do whatever it wants. And that's also what allows speed hacks and shit, but that's really nice. But other things are just synchronized so badly. Also, like this, you see the sword that shows if I can damage more, that's also not synchronized when the server is running slower. It's just bad that the server does not tell, or that the client does not react to a lower TPS. The client always expects top TPS, and then locally shows these animation based on a assumption that the server runs fine. That's just sad for like Anarchy environments where this is usually not the case. I wish to see progress there, but I doubt that anyone wants to fix that.
I put it under the light. Now, there was a video that urban farmer Curtis Stone put up about sanitizing. I think he probably uses like hydrogen peroxide or something. That's what I use. There's this product called Xeritol. So it's food grade hydrogen peroxide, and it's OMRI listed for certified organic growing. That's what I use for sanitizing surfaces, and also if I need to, I'll use it on the trays. So he said to spray them right after unstacking. I find that that's a terrible time to do it, at least for me, because in my process, when they're stacked, I'm not even misting every day. I don't even mist them.
Yeah.
I give them a heavy mist in the beginning, I stack them, and then when they're ready to come out, that's when they get their first water. So they're ready for water at that moment. I find if you spray with Xeritol there, they're gonna like try and suck that up themselves. And I feel like it damages them, especially because they're at such a young age. So I would recommend watering that first day that they're out under the lights, and then maybe that night or like day 2, spray them down with Xeritol instead of right when they come out.
Yep, that's what we do.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I've actually, a lot of people have problems with sunflowers and, disease being the main issue. And I've switched. I did recommend that people started with that one at the very beginning, but I don't know, in that latest webinar you watched, I recommend like starting with radish, peas, and maybe like a brassica or a salad mix, and then starting with sunflowers down the road. So.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea as well. Definitely radish and pea are the easiest.
That's great. Man, this is just so awesome to hear about your success. It's going to be really inspiring for other people. How old are you?
I am 25.
Wow, man. In your following Grant Cardone, you got your plan to be a multimillionaire. It sounds pretty awesome. Do you have any other specific advice for people who are just getting started in this business? Or general advice?
Oh, somebody broke those.
Just getting started.
I got
Don't be
bamboozled.
scared. Turn that fear into excitement, because fear is just awful. It's the opposite of love. Like, you don't want to be. Just
Fear is the opposite of love.
Ditch the fear, ditch the anger.
Okay.
And practice gratefulness every day.
Yeah, that is the biggest issue holding people back from just getting started. They feel paralyzed by fear. I talked a lot about that in the webinar too. And most of it's irrational fear.
Mm-hmm.
Once you face it, you realize like it's not a big deal. Like even if someone says no, it's just like, oh, they said no. Oh, okay. Well, that's not a huge deal. This is not. You can't think that your product's for everyone. It's not for everyone. Yeah, you got to get over that.
Okay, let's build another one over here.
It's just an ego thing. It's just part of this primal instinct we have, and it's not serving us now, especially getting a business started. But I definitely have compassion for people who are getting started and they have that fear, because I was in that same place as well. And it's just something you got to get over, and just take some time, meditate about it, think about it, realize what it's doing, and you realize it's not serving you, then just set it aside and move forward.
Right.
Well, man, huge congratulations to you. This is so awesome. I'm so happy to have you a member of the course now, and you can be in the Facebook group. Hopefully, you know, helping some people, inspiring some people in there. We'd love to have you in there, communicating with people as well.
Absolutely.
So it's been great to talk to you, and we're gonna keep in touch for sure. I like to follow people's success, and super inspiring. So thanks so much for talking. And is there anything else you wanted to mention or anything?
Yeah, I mean, just thank you so much for doing what you do and putting this information out there, because it's real. Like 2 years ago, it was, you know, it's not that long ago, and it was such an amazing experience, such an amazing journey, you know, and it's all thanks to you. If your videos weren't there and you didn't have that quick start guide, I would not have started, because I wouldn't have known what to start in. And that allowed me to just quit my job and start up, and that's amazing. So thank you so much.
Awesome, Don. Great talking to you, man.
Well, yeah, you as well.
All right, take care.
Wow, you guys, I just got done rewatching that interview, and the part at the end there where he said, it's real, it's real. I got the chills when he said that, because it's true. This is the real deal, and I know sometimes this can seem too good to be true, but it's an amazing career you can get going, helping people, eating some of the most healthiest foods on the planet, and make a good living doing it. So I hope you found that really inspiring. Definitely go check out what Don's doing, donsfinest.com, and follow him on Instagram. I'm going to put the links to his website and his Instagram and his Facebook below this video so you guys can follow along with Don. And I had so much fun doing this interview that it's inspired me now to want to do more of these and share more people's stories. So I'm going to reach out to more of my course members and start to feature them on this YouTube channel, I hope. And if you have a microgreen story you want to share, send me an email, nate@microgreensfarmer.com, or hit me up in the comments below this video. But that was awesome. So many good tips in there. I hope you guys found this useful and inspiring. Yeah, go ahead and leave me a comment and like this video if you enjoyed it. Head over to microgreensfarmer.com to sign up for my free webinar and get your quick start guide. And that's about it. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you later.
Music. Okay. Right. I feel like I should stay online for further investigation on performance. So I probably have to start another stream because reasons and so. Oh no, phantoms. Oh, list. 9 players, okay. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, let's do that. Alright, so I will quit the stream real quick and see you